Daniel got us a clapperboard. Take 5. Seriously, 5 takes for this. Okay, so Daniel got us a clapperboard to use for editing basically all the videos that we're doing, particularly anything that has a large production crew. So I wanted to walk you through the different categories and the different blocks here. Basically, it's an idea to communicate information both about the sound and the video to whoever's doing the editing, which may end up being yourself, but a lot of this is still going to help you keep track of what's going on. The first one is roll. Roll is basically the media that you're shooting on. In this particular case, I've got a 2 gig card in the camera. This goes back to, old film days where they actually had a physical roll that they were using, and they need to keep track of what they're actually shooting on. Scene. This one is actually big enough for us to include location information as well as the scene itself. So here we've got newsroom, that's where I am, and then 1M, it's the only scene of this particular video, and it's a medium shot. If you wanted a close-up, you'd put CU or whatever, designation you need there. Take number, this is the 5th take. Production is the actual name of the production. Now for us, since it's a news production, we would want to use the slug as much as possible. The same thing, applies to the print story as applies to video. You want a 1 or 2 word thing for file names, for audio names, for everything that you're doing, and always have this the same throughout the video. Don't change this throughout the middle. It'll just, confuse things along the way. Director, put the director's name, usually going to be you or whoever's directing the actual shot. Basically, who's behind the camera. This will help the editor get in contact with whoever they need if maybe there's an audio problem or it's not in focus and we need to reshoot something. We need to know who to get in contact with. The camera, it's a T1i. This other block for cam is the actual number for the cam. This is the type, here's the number. I've only got one camera here, but if say I had an offset camera or something like that, I could also identify a take to that without having to do an entire new setup. So that's a possibility too. Frames per second, 30, that's rarely going to change, that's almost always going to be the case. Date, 5 takes have gone by and I still haven't gotten the date on this thing, but this is where you would actually put, the date of the shot. Interior, exterior, day and night, both of those are self-explanatory. Sync and MOS, this refers to the audio. And basically what you have here, this indicates to the editor that there is audio to look for. This used to stand for mit out sound. There's a handful of different abbreviations that I found, but basically the idea is that when this is selected, the editor doesn't have to look for audio tracks. That's expected there's going to be a soundtrack or sound effects or something external from that. There's enough room up here, and what I want to do is kind of mention this. I'll bring this up later in a different video on how to actually use this, where the different things are, and how to make this work externally. But basically, this device uses a naming convention like this. STE001 is the name of the audio track that I would need to look for to match to this particular video track. So basically, every time you change shots or change scenes, change takes, whatever the case is, anytime you change the audio, it needs to go on this board, so that way the editor knows where to find what they're looking for. And the real key thing is this: the sound. It creates a spike, a visual spike and an auditory spike, so that way editing and matching the sound with the video is literally a piece of cake.